Testing, testing, one, two, three, testing.
Marker.
In 1844, Joseph Smith made a prediction that defied all political logic of his time. He declared that America would have two great political parties called the Republican and Democrat parties. Yet the Republican Party wouldn't even exist for another decade. Welcome to the last dispensation. You are living in it.
We don't really know where the world is gonna go, but now everybody knows that you can't stop for too long. Got to keep going. Don't really know where the world is gonna go.
Joseph Smith's prophetic accuracy, the Republican Democrat Party's prophecy. Brothers and sisters, this is a remarkable prophecy of 1844. Now, I don't know much about this prophecy. Well, not up until recently. I know other secondhand accounts of what the prophet Joseph Smith has said about the Constitution of the United States of America. So let's take it at face value for what it is, and either way, it's pretty interesting. In 1844, Joseph Smith, the founder of our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, made a remarkable prophecy that would prove prophetically accurate about America's future political landscape. According to records kept by Mosiah Hancock, son of Levi Hancock, Joseph Smith declared on the 19th of June, 1844, quote, "There will be two great political parties in this country. One will be called the Republican and the other the Democrat Party. These two parties will go to war, and out of these two parties will spring another party, which will be the Independent American Party." Close quote. Now, was that talking about the Civil War? Well, the prophecy documented in Mosiah Hancock's autobiography is particularly striking because it was made before these political parties even existed. So what parties existed in 1844? When Joseph Smith made this prophecy in 1844, the dominant political parties in the United States were entirely different from what we know today. So here's an idea of what the political landscape was in 1844. You had the Democrat Party. Now, while the modern Democrat Party traces its origins to 1828, it wasn't formally called the Democrat Party until 1844. The party was still in transition from its Democrat-Republican roots. And then you had the Whig Party. The primary opposition to the Democrats was this party, the Whigs. Now, that was founded in 1834. This party would completely collapse by the 1850s. There was no Republican Party. The Republican Party did not exist in 1844 at all. It would not be formed until 1854, and that was, a decade after Joseph Smith's prophecy and after his death. So, prophetic accuracy, I would say so. So, the prophecy's accuracy, it becomes evident when examining the timeline. Formation of the Republican Party in 1854. The Republican Party was officially founded July 6, 1854 in Jackson, Michigan, exactly as Joseph Smith had prophesied by name. The party emerged from the remnants of the collapsed Whig Party and the Free Soil Party, united primarily by their opposition to the expansion of none other than slavery. Yes. Now, The Democratic Party's evolution was interesting. The Democratic Party, while existing in various forms since 1828, well, they formally adopted the name Democrat Party in 1844, the same year Joseph Smith made his prophecy. This timing demonstrates remarkable prophetic insight into the party's nomenclature. Now, Joseph Smith's prophecy also mentioned that from these two parties would spring another party, which will be the Independent American Party. Interestingly, the Utah Independent American Party was founded in 1998, specifically referencing this very prophecy from Joseph Smith. The party's founders were inspired by the prophecy, and they named their organization accordingly. What's the current fulfillment? Well, let's take none other than Elon Musk's brand spanking new American Party. That's right. Elon Musk is starting or has started the American Party. That's remarkable. And it's contemporary, brothers and sisters. This is a major development because Elon Musk announced July 6, 2025, that he was forming a new political party called the American Party. This announcement came after Musk's split with President Trump over spending legislation, positioning his new party as an alternative to the existing Republican and Democratic parties. Now, Elon Musk's party, American Party, represents what he describes as serving the 80% of voters who are in the middle, breaking away from the traditional two-party system. The party's platform includes pro-Second Amendment stance, pro-Bitcoin and cryptocurrency support, focus on reducing national debt, free speech advocacy, modernizing military with AI. Now, I don't know about you, babe, but that sounds like it's a very fringy party and it's going to mess things up. What do you think? Because most people don't think like that. Most Americans don't have those most Americans don't have these little pet ideas. Not saying that they're bad ideas, but are they practical, and how is this going to hurt or benefit? This is not going to benefit the voting and having the outcome that either party would want. The broader prophetic context, what will this do? Well, this was a political prophecy, and it was part of a larger prophetic vision that Joseph Smith shared about America's future. The complete prophecy, as recorded by Mosiah Hancock, continued. The United States will spend her strength and means warring in foreign lands until other nations, we're doing that now, but that's not us necessarily, that's the neocons, right? The warmongers, whether they're Republican or Democrat, until other nations will say, let's divide up the lands of the United States. Then the people of the U.S. will unite and swear by the blood of their forefathers. Now, I don't know how far that's going to go. I'm not putting all my credence into second and third hand accounts, but I find this interesting. Joseph Smith did speak about the Constitution hanging as though it were by a thread. There are different depictions of what Joseph Smith said. Ezra Taft Benson said that the Constitution will survive. Joseph Smith at times said that if it were to survive. So let's just say there's a lot of credence in that we can put into this prophecy. I don't think that Mosiah Hancock would be embellishing anything, but I didn't know the guy. But let's divide up the lands of the United States. Then the people of the U.S. will unite and swear by the blood of their forefathers that the land shall not be divided. Mosiah Lyman Hancock, he was a member of the church, and he wrote a lot of biographies and autobiographies compiled by his daughters. And they contain remembrances of Joseph Smith as well as biographical information about Hancock and copies of songs composed by his father, Levi Hancock. I didn't know the guy. Some people do like to add fluff to things to make it sound better, look better. He did cross the plains with the pioneers and wrote things down. He journaled many things, including quotes by leaders. All right, let me go on. Sorry. Then the country will go to war and they will fight until one half of the U.S. Army will give up and the rest will continue to struggle. They will keep on until they are very ragged and discouraged and almost ready to give up, when the boys from the mountains will rush forth in time to save the American army from defeat and ruin, close quote. Now, Joseph Smith was just a man. He was a prophet, and he might have been hitting the dartboard at the time as far as revelation is concerned. Maybe not the bullseye, but I don't know. Prophets do not and did not know everything and do not. But I do believe that when these prophets and apostles speak, they speak by the power of the Holy Ghost, and some things might come from them and some are very important and we need to heed even within one revelation. It's like giving a blessing. Some things are coming from you and some are coming from the Lord within that blessing. But the prophecy does connect to Joseph Smith's famous prediction that the Constitution would hang by a thread and be saved by the Latter-day Saints. I'm not downplaying Mosiah Hancock. All I'm saying is we need to be careful. Anything that we read that is a first-hand accounts, second-hand accounts, unless the person themselves wrote it down. We didn't have recording devices back then. And some people did know shorthand, but it wasn't a common thing. So a lot of times people are listening to something and then they're writing it down as fast as they can, or they might come back later and write it down. So yeah, people wrote things down either after the fact or during the time. And men would stand at the podium and speak slow and pause with their knuckles gripped around the podium, and they did the best they could. Okay. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, Joseph Smith's 1844 prophecy about the Republican and Democratic parties represents a remarkable example of prophetic accuracy. Because if this prediction is very accurate, well, the specific names of the two major political parties that would dominate American politics is a real thing that came out of his mouth. How about the timing? The timing of their emergence, even though the Republican Party didn't exist for another decade. And like I said, I'm not downplaying Joseph Smith. He is a prophet, seer, and revelator. I'm just, like I said, being very careful, considering sources. And the third thing I would say is very important, the eventual emergence of an independent party, American party, as an alternative. Elon Musk, maybe? The current formation of Elon Musk's American Party in 2025. Does that appear to you to be a potential fulfillment of the prophecy's prediction about a third party emerging from the conflict between Republicans and Democrats? Does this demonstrate to you that Joseph Smith's prophetic insights extended far beyond his immediate time period? Is it accurate, brothers and sisters, or is this just, I don't know, could we measure this to different times since then? It might accurately foresee the political landscape today that would shape America, and did this shape America for nearly 2 centuries. Here's a fact. These party names were prophesied before they existed, and that's compelling. That's very compelling. There is evidence of Joseph Smith's prophetic calling and his ability to receive revelation. We know that. We've seen it time and time again. And we know that by the power of the Holy Ghost. And that's revelation even about future events that would amazingly impact American political history. And it's in our Doctrine and Covenants. And some say that wasn't about the Civil War. Even the Civil War, and maybe speaking about another war. Brothers and sisters, the Bible teaches us that true prophecy must meet 3 criteria: proper timing, specific details, and exact fulfillment. Joseph Smith's 1844 political prophecy passes all 3 tests in ways that should astound every American.